With the new Breath of the Wild sequel hopefully just around the corner, I decided to take a look back at what made Breath of the Wild so great. The world of Hyrule, to put it simply, is alive. At no point is there a moment where a task feels boring. Sometimes it might feel annoying, sure, but that's what gives you a reason to keep going, and prove it's possible to complete a quest. And for that sense of adventure, the game rewards you.
16 times the detail.
To me, the mundane feeling of just running from place to place just isn't in Breath of the Wild at any point. The use of a glider opens up a massive amount of possibilities for mobility, and is something I've seen in very few games that have come before Breath of the Wild. Along with gliding, almost every surface in the game can be climbed, provided you have the stamina to reach the intended destination. While traveling and exploring this landscape, it's easy to find yourself using sand seals to skim across the dunes. Not to mention the cold peaks of where the Rito village is located. The top of the village is one of my favorite places in the entire game, and I highly suggest you go there sometime if you have the chance. When looking across the map, in the distance you can see a massive volcano, home to the Goron City, whose people have been featured in other games in the series. Or you can fly over to the water city of Zora and swim about in the rivers there. But the main central section, where most of the land of Hyrule resides, is lush and breathing. The way resources and enemies and treasure and villages and a whole number of things is placed and spaced out creates an area where the player can never stop interacting with the world. Apparently, Hyrule is based off of a real place. According to Screen Rant, game director Hidemaru Fujibayashi and his team achieved this harmony by using Kyoto, Japan, the city where Nintendo's headquarters is located, as the framework for Breath of the Wild's environmental pacing. This use of a real place allows for, even in a mystical setting, the world to seem more believable and in turn more memorable. Shrines are both essential and non-essential to Breath of the Wild. I say this because from where the game begins in the Great Plateau, you can go straight to fight Ganon in the final boss, armed with a stick and a pot lid if you feel up to it. But if you really want to experience or 100% the game, you have to complete shrines. Shrines are what help you progress through the game by giving you spirit orbs, which can be used to increase health or stamina. Of course, it isn't always easy to get them. Every shrine consists of either a puzzle or a fight, with one spirit orb the goal for the players who complete the shrine. With only one spirit orb per shrine, 120 are scattered around the world, sometimes even having to be uncovered by yet another puzzle. But shrines add much more to the game than just puzzles and buffs. Shrines make you search and explore a lush world of secrets and mystery, in turn for abilities that make it easier. This interaction with the world is what all devs want from their players, and they make it incredibly easy to get lost in this vast world, which happens to be bigger than the entirety of Skyrim. When entering a shrine, I always felt a tinge of excitement mixed in with some fear, not knowing what to expect. It really warms my heart as well to think that the puzzles and shrines are so well regarded in most part that people have devoted time and effort to argue that one single shrine is worse than the others. This connection the fanbase has to specific things is similar to some super popular TV shows where everybody has seen the episodes, has remembered them, and can discuss them. In Breath of the Wild, I feel I can talk about a shrine's puzzle well enough to hold up an argument for whether I like it or not. Honestly, I've already said a lot of good things about this game, I know, but it's not going to stop here. I loved this storyline, and for those who aren't familiar with it, it goes something like this. There was an ancient race, and thousands of years ago, this race, named the Sheikah, created great mechanical guardians called the Divine Beasts. When the Calamity Ganon appeared in Hyrule, 4 champions were chosen to pilot these beasts, along with the princess and her trusted knight, to keep Ganon at bay.
Right now, something you can do to increase your survivability. After, Hyrule slowly became safer. The beings that lived there started to live peacefully.
Fast forward a bit, and Ganon uses some of his power to turn the divine beast against Hyrule's people. Everyone dies. The end. Or so everyone thought. Link had been put in this healing chamber thing by Princess Zelda, and bang! The game begins with Link waking up. The game eases you into the finer details of the plot without an overload of information. In fact, Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game to have voice acting in its cutscenes, and in my opinion, this adds a bit more to the relationship people have with the characters and the storyline. One of the most defining characteristics of the game is its art style. It's almost completely recognizable, sometimes even for people who haven't played the game. Some other games that have similar graphic styles have been called Breath of the Wild clones over and over again. The art style in this game is another factor of what separates this game from a lot of other titles in the series and from other games altogether. During development, the Zelda team drew inspiration from different anime for the art style, and I can't imagine the game without the art. And I think it was one of the reasons it has been so well accepted. There is one spot in the game where the devs forgot to add this style of graphics. So for whatever reason, if you travel to the Bridge of Hylia, a little crack reveals the rather dark side of what the game could have looked like, somewhat similar to the Twilight Princess on the Wii. There is no way on earth that I could express how much I love this game. I'm sure this is obvious by now. Breath of the Wild has a specific charm I feel is unmatched by any other open world game. And along with its story and art, I believe this game will be played for years and years to come and be remembered as a classic. Because I didn't cover nearly as much stuff as I would have liked to in this video, I want to see what you think. Leave a comment, and if this video gets 20 likes, I will make a part 2, I promise. But for now, I want to say my final words about this game for this video. A perfect game is something that never gets old. If it truly never gets old, then it becomes a classic. No matter how long you play it for, if a game makes an impression on its player, the game has succeeded in its goal, to be timeless.